I don't really know if that third and fifth round pick is going to work out. We don't know who that player or those players will be. But the one thing about it, the Oakland Raiders and John Gruden is getting a hungry and determined wide receiver to get back to his old ways of dominating.
It's killer raps, we got the hottest staff. In 03, I made a dynasty like Robert Kraft. Last night, we finally found out where Antonio Brown was getting traded to. So the Oakland Raiders gave up a third and a fifth round draft pick for their best wide receiver in the game. The Steelers were on record stating that they wanted a first for Brown, but as we can see, that clearly wasn't the case. I mean, the Raiders made AB the highest paid wide receiver in the league, signing him to a 3-year for over $50 million, and I think $30 million of it is guaranteed or something like that. Now, with this move, a lot of questions came to mind that I want to try to answer with my opinion, if that's okay with y'all. Things like, will he be a cancer in a Raider uniform? Is Derek Carr good enough to make Antonio Brown happy? Which could also lead to some issues. I mean, I heard a bunch of shade thrown in the direction of the Raiders concerning this pick, but honestly, I don't think it was a bad move. Here's why. First of all, the Raiders are relocating shortly. They will be going to Vegas after the season, as we all know. Now, this will be the first time a major league team of any sport would be located here. It's good for the sport, and of course, it's great for the city of Las Vegas. Not that they need more revenue, but hey, that's none of my business though. But the last thing people want to see, especially new fans in Vegas, is a bad team in their city, in my opinion. I mean, if you're gonna have a bad team, the least you want to have is a good draw for the people to remain interested, right? Now, who's a bigger and better draw than the best wide receiver in the game? I believe half of this move was business oriented, but I want to touch on something real quick. Head coach John Gruden was out of the coaching game for years before signing a 10-year, $100 million contract to be the face of the Raiders, right? But while he was gone, everybody wanted to see him come back. And now that he's back, everybody want to see him go again. I don't get it, but the Raiders were a playoff team a couple years back, and this year they hardly could win a game. But I give respect to Gruden for seeing the early problems that the Raiders were having, noticing that ahead of time was big, and deciding to abort the mission instead of just watching the ship sink. I mean, he took action, trading his best assets to make an attempt to create a foundation for this organization. I mean, the man got a boatload of picks for Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper last year, which resulted in the Raiders having 4 picks in the top 35 this year. You can say what you want about the guy, but at least they have an identity. And with the opportunity to get the best wide receiver in the game for a free spray tan and a pair of open-toe sandals, you take that. In all seriousness though, let's just say you and the mother of your child don't get along, right? Y'all no longer see eye to eye, but you agree to be cordial just for the sake of the child, which means the bills still get paid and you guys pretty much coexist as one unit, but strictly only for the sake of the child. I'm sure there are people watching this video that either have gone through this or maybe even currently going through it as we speak. But this is what I compare the Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger situation to. On the field together, they're dynamic and nothing seems to be a problem. But off the field, they don't like each other as much and they just do what they got to do to help the team win. See, Brown is coming off a season in which he piled up over 100 catches, over 1,300 yards, and 15 touchdowns. It's one hell of a year. But in my opinion, the success of Juju Smith-Schuster was not the issue with Antonio Brown, as if a lot of people made it seem that way. See, AB felt like the Steelers organization coddled to Big Ben in ways that they wouldn't do to other players, if you know what I mean. And most would of course say, well, yeah, I mean, he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion and obviously he's the quarterback of the team. But truly though, honestly, is this right? Big Ben has called out his teammates on multiple occasions, throwing them and other coaches under the bus. Nothing is ever his fault. And if you ask me, this situation has been boiling over for the past few seasons. And this play right here was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Buying time here. 3rd and goal. Over the top and intercepted! Intercepted by Shelby Harris. And Harris with the interception of his life. Watch the tackle right here. He's a nose, and he's going to just pop back.
There was nothing there. I mean, there was absolutely nothing there. There was another defender between Harris and Brown.
Oh, no. He would have got intercepted probably.
Yeah, but Roby was in the back of the end zone, had position on Brown.
Now, Clearly that was Big Ben's fault. But immediately after the game, he would tell the media that the lineman that intercepted the ball was a fluke and that AB ran the wrong route and woo 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 ya ya ya. Basically holding no culpability for his bad decision to throw the ball in that situation. AB at the time said nothing, took the high road, but recently he went on LeBron James' show to Shop and expressed his feelings on that situation. Here's what he said.
Yeah, what happened with that the last week of the season?
So the last week of the season, we going into the final game. We got to win, and we got to hope the Ravens don't win so we can advance to the playoffs. I'm a little banged up, so I meet with Coach Tomlin. I'm telling him, like, hey, man, I'm a little banged up, so I'm going to need a little time to get right. So he like, if you banged up, man, just, you know, you could just go home.
Leave practice?
Yeah, like, you ain't even got to be here. So I'm like, damn, that's where we at. Yeah, once the last game came, buddy, with the go home, with the confusion, too much confusion, I'm like, damn, this is where they really at. Because now they showing me the reality. You know, oh, yeah, the good dude called me out, we lose a game. He like, damn, AB should have ran the better route.
Why would Ben do that?
The type of guy he is. He feel like he the owner. Bro, you threw this shit to the D-line, man. How the fuck I'm gonna run the better route? You need to give me a better ball. But it's like, in the league, you're gonna have a guy from the team to be like, well, you can't say that. I need you to get this out there, like. But it's like, why I gotta be acting? At least ask a nigga how he feel first. Let it roll. Right? If it don't matter how I feel, then fuck it then. While I'm here, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm not saying that AB is a saint, and I'm definitely not saying that he ain't never done nothing wrong during his tenure with the Steelers. But there's three sides to every story, and frankly, we only know what they tell us. But the only reason it's okay to change your opinion on the current situation is if you're presented with new facts. So let me know down in the comments what your opinion is on this whole trade situation and how AB went about it. I mean, do y'all feel he went about it the right way, the wrong way? Let me know down in the comments. Do you agree or do you disagree? Hey, yo, if you made it this far, hashtag OG gang in the comments right now. That lets me know y'all rocking with me, and I really appreciate that. But as for the Raiders, I think they got a steal. Gruden is trying to create a certain culture in Oakland, soon to be Vegas, and AB could be a distraction. But on the other hand, he could be the guy that just needed a change of scenery. I believe that Coach Tomlin lost that locker room a long time ago. Maybe Coach Gruden knows how to handle AB. Derek Carr has been wildly inconsistent as of late, so maybe this could help him out too. I mean, Carr is coming off one of the worst, if not the worst season of his career, and you getting arguably the hardest working player in the NFL? Maybe he can help implement the work ethic in the locker room. I mean, it's a lot of ifs, a lot of buts, and a lot of maybes, but if Gruden hits on these early picks this offseason during the draft, be real talk, y'all. The Raiders' future could come into benefit sooner rather than later. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Also subscribe to the channel if you love sports the way that I do. Man, they got a steal. A third and a fifth for AB? Sheesh. But only time will tell. Like I said, it's a lot of ifs, a lot of buts, and a lot of maybes. We gonna find out if this thing gonna work. We definitely gonna find out. But anyways, it's been a doozy, y'all, and as always, OG out.